All right, everybody. Thank you so much for attending. This is the first of several EagleWorks informational series. We're really glad to have you here, and congratulations on taking the first step into what very well could be a life-changing experience. So what I'd like to ask first and foremost is, so why are you all here? Obviously you want information about EagleWorks, but why does that interest you? Like, how did you get up here, and why are you here? Tell me real quick. By the way, my presentations, I'm very interactional. I like to have conversations. If you have questions or anything, just raise your hand, blurt it out, whatever. So why are you all here? Tell me about that. Because we're really tired and needed somewhere to be quiet. Yeah?
It's the free food, is that it?
Yes, the free food. Yeah, exactly.
See, I thought that would get more attention than the question he just asked. So.
All right, well, maybe the awkward silences. I tell you what, let me warm us up just a little bit. I can tell you why I'm here. So I'm Michael. I'm the Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, among other things here at Tennessee Tech. And we are here collectively with Mr. Jeff Brown of the Biz Foundry, Dr. Melissa Geist, Dr. Pardue, Dr. Sanders, and more faculty on campus want you to innovate and create businesses. Our president, Dr. Oldham, says that we want our students creating jobs instead of finding jobs. And you can literally do that right here at EagleWorks. So let me ask you another question. Now that I've introduced myself, how did you all find out about this? Was it Tech Times? Was it through a class? I know some of you all are here for a class. Did you have maybe some of your friends told us? Tell me how you got
So
here.
raise your hand as he says the options. We really need to know that.
Yeah. How did you get here? Tech Times? 2? Okay, 3. All right. Class? All right. Several. Friend? Okay. How many of y'all have heard about EagleWorks before? Awesome. Very good. What have you heard about it? We'll start with that.
That it's awesome.
That it's awesome and we can win money.
The guys that
and
run it
do
are
cool
idiots.
things. All right.
Yes.
So, guess I'll just talk at you today. How does that sound? So, EagleWorks, what is it? My goodness gracious. It is an innovation and entrepreneurship competition. Y'all like Shark Tank? Y'all watch Shark Tank? Yep. Okay, so it's very similar to Shark Tank. Shark Tank is, if you don't know, is a program where entrepreneurs come on. They pitch to a round of very famous investors, and in exchange for money to help their business out, right? So EagleWorks is very similar to that in that you will actually come up with your own innovative idea and or a business, and you can compete to literally win thousands for your innovative idea. You'll hear from actually one of our first place winners from this past April. She'll talk to you just a little bit about what she's actually done here in a moment. But I can tell you that EagleWorks is an awesome opportunity, okay? So one, it's an awesome opportunity because you as students can actually come up with your own idea, you can come up with your own business, and you can actually create that here at Tennessee Tech. Now the major difference between Shark Tank and EagleWorks is Tennessee Tech does not take any of your equity. If you don't know what equity means, if you look at Shark Tank, they go and they pitch and they'll say, I want $100,000 and I'll give you 10% of my business. That's equity. Tennessee Tech is not in the business of taking your equity. We don't want it. We're not going to take it. So I want to encourage you all to really get yourself involved in this, throw yourself into it, and really just kind of throw caution to the wind and not really worry about anything. So it looks like we've got a lot of other people showing up. This is great. Very good. So people that just came in, where are you all from? Did you come from a class? Did you find out?
Yes. Yeah.
Came from a class. What class?
Came in 2015.
All right, awesome. Who's your professor, Lissick?
Chavez.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Come on in. Do we need some more chairs? We can get you some more chairs. There's some over there. We can get some more if you need them. So I'm going to continue on. So EagleWorks is an opportunity for you all to get experience. All right, and I can tell you, in the class that I talked to just right beforehand, have already heard this, that experience trumps everything, all right? So why are you all here? Not here in the makerspace, but why are you here at Tennessee Tech? To learn, and you're going to learn, and you're going to get what? What is the end goal? Degree, exactly. And then you're going to get your degree, and what are you going to do with it? Sit in your parents' basement? No, you're going to go get a job, right? Hopefully. So with a job, what does that require? It requires that you go to an interview, it requires that you make a resume, it requires that you put yourself out there, right? So I can tell you, everybody that's graduating, how many seniors we got in here? A couple, all right, some juniors, all right, very good. So any freshmen here? Awesome, very good. Congratulations, we want you here. Thank you for doing that and tell all your friends. So we'll talk about freshmen in a moment. But point being is that you need to be able to differentiate yourself when you go out there for that job interview, when you're putting your resume out there. And guess what? The dirty secret is that everybody else has a college degree as well. So what can you do to put some sparkle, to put some pizzazz on your resume to make you stand out to that future employer? And this is one of those great things that you can do. Tennessee Tech has a lot of opportunities and resources that we want to give to you to be able to put you in that position. I'm not going to speak much to it, but the university has a new strategic plan. And our strategic plan, a major portion of it is we want to create career-ready students. Now, obviously, we're already doing that in our academics. We're preparing you to be engineers, nurses, fill in the blank, whatever. But Tennessee Tech wants to go above and beyond that. We want to give you the opportunities, the resources, and the experiences that are going to be able to make you differentiate yourself from those others. We're also going to make you better prepared in life. And this is one great way, EagleWorks is a great way to do that because, yes, you're going to write a business model and business plan. You're going to come up with a pitch, and it's going to be really cool. But there's a lot of soft skills that you're actually going to garner from this opportunity that you very well may not have had the opportunity to do so before. So, for example, some of those things are: how many people like to get up and make a presentation in class?
Zero.
Zero. Okay. You do? You like it? Okay. How many people like to talk to a room full of 20 people? All right, that's about a class. How about 100 people? How many people are absolutely freaked out by getting up in front of 500 people?
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay. All right. So, EagleWorks is going to teach you some soft skills that you can actually utilize to become more effective communicators. Okay. So you go out on that job interview, or you're out there, asking for an internship, or maybe you want to go do research at NASA or something like that. You're going to have an interview, and you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to make presentations. You're going to have to do group work. You're going to have to show leadership. These are all the things that you can get at EagleWorks, and we'll discuss how you can do that here in a little bit. But getting back to the main point is that EagleWorks is where another great thing is you can actually win money from this. How many of you all like to have thousands of dollars? All right, very good. How many of you all like to have $10,000s of dollars? Even better. EagleWorks can help you with that. Now, the way that you can do that is you can start right now. This is your first step. You can join EagleWorks, you can commit to it, and you can go and do amazing things. So, with that said, our pitch competition, as somebody falls off the building apparently, our pitch competition happens every year in April. This year it's going to be Saturday, April the 6th, 2019. Now you think, well, that's a long ways away. It's actually not that far away. It's going to be here before we know it. What you're going to find is every time that I talk to you all, I'm going to tell you it's going to be here before we know it, it's going to be here before you know it, and all of a sudden I'm going to say, guess what? It's next week, right? So get started now, okay? Now this is not just an insurmountable amount of work, but it is, a little bit of stuff that you're going to have to do extra on your own accord, and you're going to get 10 times out of it what you actually put in. That goes the same with any class that you're in, any club that you're in. So be thinking about that now. So October is a great time to be thinking about what you want to do with EagleWorks, and we'll talk about forming a team here in a moment. At this point, before I go any further, does anybody have any questions about anything? All right, very good. So, why do you want to do EagleWorks? So I talked a little bit about opportunities and experiences and soft skills, but there's some more ways that you can that you should be involved. Number one, it's a lot of fun. This is a really, really cool process, and I can tell you, anybody that has been through it, and Taya will talk to it here in a moment, it is an absolutely fun process. You can also meet new people. Everybody wants to meet new people, or maybe you don't want to meet new people, and maybe you should. And EagleWorks is a great way that you can do that because we actually put a lot of pop-up classes, which we'll talk about in a moment. They're workshops where you can actually come right here and you can learn how to compete, and we'll talk about those in a moment, but you can actually meet new people through this process. We also want you forming teams, right? So you can be a sole proprietor, but we want you forming teams, and you very well may meet somebody with a completely different mindset that's going to work perfectly with your team, and that's really what it's all about too, is getting to understand how to work, how to communicate, and how to interact with different people, because when you're out in the real world, guess what? There's all kinds of different people. Your engineers are going to work with marketing people and accountants are going to work with chemical engineers and nurses and all kinds of interaction. The better that you can position yourself now to be able to effectively communicate and effectively integrate yourself with different types of people is going to put you in a better position. Furthermore, when you put things like this on your resume and you talk about these in your interviews, guaranteed those employers are listening to what you have to say. They want to see what have you done to go out and above and beyond what was just required, right? So when y'all were graduating high school, I guess a lot of your counselors probably said, oh, join a club or be in sports or whatever. There's a reason, because college insurance applications want to know about what you've done extracurricularly to help improve yourself. Guess what? Real world is no different. And EagleWorks, again, is going to be able to give you the opportunities and experiences to expand and improve yourself accordingly. Now, some other things, we talked about the skill sets, so I won't go over those anymore. Be liking differently minded people. And then guess what? You can create a business. You can create a business right here, right now, today at Tennessee Tech. We want you doing that. And you just might surprise yourself. You could actually start a really profitable business. We had one of our winners from a few years ago actually recently just took on, what, $1 million investment?
Yeah, so they just raised $1 million about 6 months ago.
And their product is at every point of sale system in Nissan Stadium where the Titans play. So this is real actual tech students doing real actual things, and you can be a part of this. And again, win thousands.
So how many of you are competitive? How many of you like to win?
Ooh, a lot of
So there's,
people.
so in horse racing, there's win, place, and show, right? Which is first, second, and third. So Taya and some of the other people that have gone through this with me before. So we at the Biz Foundry are highly competitive. We don't show up to anything to show up. We don't care if it's tiddlywinks or, chutes and ladders. We're there to win, and we'll rip your throat out to win. Because that's how the world of entrepreneurship works, right? There's no kind of like, oh, I'm going to go spend 7 years of my life, stay away from my family, miss birthdays, live out of my car just because I kind of want it to work, right? You don't do that. So we want this to be competitive. Now in a good way, right? We want everybody to be good at it, but we want you to be competitive. And so how many of you have an idea already? So are they ideas that you're passionate about? Or what we don't want you to do is kind of the school project idea is, oh, I'll work on it until I get my grade and then I'm out of here. You will not win anything in EagleWorks if that is you. I can tell you right now, we have judges and people who know what they're doing, and they smell that on you. And so that one of the things we've heard them say it. Technically, that was a good pitch. They had no passion whatsoever. They're not going through the finals, right? And so, we hear that actually more than you would think. So, find something you really want to do. You may not ever start a company, but something you want to do that really solves a problem that either pisses you off or whatever it is, right? That every time I do this, this happens and I hate it. I'm going to figure out a better way to do that. And so, find things that apply to your thought process there. Because we know in the world of entrepreneurship is if you don't have that passion, you're going nowhere. This is too hard, right?
Yep.
So you got to be committed to it. So make a little commitment. We're not asking you to drop out of school or go borrow $100,000 or those things, but do something that your team can be committed to. Because trust me, on April the 6th, we'll know within 2 hours the ones that were kind of doing it and going through the motions. They do not do well.
Yep. Thank you for that, Jeff. Yeah, and I think passion is probably one of the most important parts on this. One, because of everything that Jeff just said, but also two, because that's it's a time commitment. It's something that you want to get involved in. And a lot of things that we talk to our entrepreneurs about is, when you're coming up with your idea, or maybe you've already got your idea, but you're improving upon it. What is that point of what you're doing, right? Why does it matter at the end of the day? Is it just something cool? Does it solve a problem? Have you helped somebody? Have you helped collectively a lot of people? These are things that you can kind of think about while you're formulating your idea and your team, because it's something that at the end of the day, whether you win or not, it's something that you want to feel good about and something that you want to drive yourself to do, because nobody really wants to do anything just because, right? You want to have a reason to do it. So let's get into a little bit about some logistics on how to do it. Two things that you need to do is, one, everybody in here is already a Tennessee Tech student. because this is a Tennessee Tech student pitch competition. There are not other businesses, there are not non-students or anything like that. We want all students in this thing. So one, be a Tech student.
Well, we probably are going to
I'm gonna
have
clarify
a
that.
separate track this year, but it'll be judged separately, prize money separate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
blah.
right. So we're actually bringing on some community members, and we're doing some community college as
colleges.
well. That doesn't really matter for today. Just know that what we're talking about here is 100% for Tennessee Tech students, and you all are that. So number 2, we want you to complete the registration form. Whether you may just kind of think you're going to compete or you're absolutely going to compete, please go ahead and fill out the registration form. It doesn't commit you to anything. We're not going to spam your inbox. We're not going to sell your information. We just want to know who are you and are you interested. So as you all have seen, tentech.edu/EagleWorks, that is our main webpage. So we'll go there real quick. And if you go to, again, Tennessee Tech or tentech.edu/EagleWorks, you will see this page. You click on the register now, and it is a very simple form. So I don't think I have to explain how web form works. If you do, see me afterwards. But we just want to know a few things about you. When are you going to graduate? What's your major? What county are you from? Things of that nature. So just very basic stuff. So please go ahead and after this, or if you're not paying attention to me right now, go ahead and do it now. But please do fill out that form. So second of all, we asked you just a moment ago who has an idea, right? How many people have already formed a team? Anybody? All right. So maybe a little bit. Okay, good. If you haven't already, doesn't matter. You got plenty of time to do that, but now is the time to be thinking about it. So let's talk about teams. So form or join a team with an innovative idea. Again, you really want to, you're not trying to recreate something that already exists unless you've got a really innovative spin on it. What you're really trying to do at the end of the day with this is you're wanting to create something that's going to improve a situation. It's going to solve a problem. It's going to be creative. It's something that you feel passionately about that can help you, can help the greater good. Whatever it is, we want it to really form around something that really matters. Okay. Now, I say here, interdisciplinary teams are encouraged. So you can be, I'll address sole proprietors first. So a sole proprietor, if you don't know, is a one-person team, all right? So you can totally be a one-person team if you want to. Take a wild guess at how many sole proprietors we have had win in the past for EagleWorks.
0.
One in 5 years. It behooves you to get a team together. Why? Well, let's talk about interdisciplinary. What does interdisciplinary mean? Does anybody know? I'll warm it up a little bit. I see some. It's what? People from multiple departments. A little bit more specifically, what'd you say? What's your name?
Different majors.
Different majors, right. So think about this. So we got some engineers in the room, we got some nurses in the room, maybe some business people. Everybody has their own collective background that they through their academic instruction are learning things based on their major, right? So here's the thing. An engineer, like one that's walking in the door right now, an engineer might have an idea. Maybe this engineer has an idea for a robot that climbs up and down and does inspections or cleaning, right? It's a great operating robot, but maybe the engineer doesn't really know business concepts. So maybe they need to go and find a person that has business background that can help them with a business model, some marketing, maybe some accounting and finance, right? Or maybe this engineer has an idea for a medical device, right? Well, guess what? They probably need to go and find a nurse that would be able to advise them on, how's this going to act in the body? You can't use this certain materials, or hey, this is really not a good idea because it's bigger than the operating room and it won't fit, right? So what I'm trying to illustrate here is you want to go out and find people that you can put on your team that's going to put you into a better position. So for example, a nurse working with an engineer and working with a business major. Now I'm kind of stereotyping here. Just because you're a business major doesn't mean that you don't necessarily know some engineering principles, but you want to be able to find those people that have those backgrounds that you don't have, right? So think, take an honest look at yourself and your situation and where you want to be, and think about who you want to put on your team. Now we've got, probably 20 or 30 people here right now. At the end, I would encourage you all to kind of network with each other, talk with each other. And we also have a Facebook group. We're not really active right now, but go ahead and join that. And that's actually a really great way that you can actually make some posts and say, hey, I'm a nurse, I've got an idea for a medical device. I need an engineer and I need a, I don't know, a fine arts person or whatever, right? Insert your own scenario there. Please use those, please use the EagleWorks Facebook group to be able to network to find other people. Now, number two, what are you going to do? So you've got this innovative idea, you've got a team formed. Now you're going to need to validate your idea, develop a business model, and create your pitch presentation. Jeff, what in the world does that mean?
So what he just talked about, so part of our job in this region is, can we find real investors, right? Can we work with venture capital companies, angel investors? So we've helped raise about $6.3 million in the last 3 years in investor money for startups we're working with in the region. So investors don't invest in your idea. Nobody ever believes this. It's the basis of them starting to talk to you, but you know what they invest in? The team. Because we know when you start, you don't know what you're doing. But we will invest in a team that we think can figure it out. We know you're clueless. You have a few ideas. 99% of what you're assuming that the world wants is wrong, because you've sat in this room and thought about everybody's going to love this. And once you go out into the public, the first thing you find is everybody doesn't love it. It just doesn't work that way. And so investors invest in the team. So what we tell everybody, you got to have a visionary, the leader, who's passionate, who will keep this idea alive, who brings the rest of the team with him. So somebody's got to push the train, all right? You got to have somebody that can make whatever it is, right? Is it a programmer? Are we building a piece of software? Is it a medical device? Somebody's got to be able to build some type of early prototype, and then somebody needs to be able to explain profit and loss and cost and things like that, which Dr. Canfield and I discovered the first year we ran ICOR, that we had 21 brilliant engineers who not one person had ever had a business class. And we started talking about profit and loss statements, and we might as well have been talking about the Geneva Convention. They had the same understanding. And so, that's why you need some help. And so every year we get panic mode of two people that we're 2 weeks out. I don't know how to do any of the business stuff. So we'll help with that, but you really need somebody to do this really well. Don't go recruit 2 team members that are just like you and have the same skill set and work on the same thing. Because you can have 2, you can have 5 on a team. We don't care if you have 7 on a team, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to agree that the paper's white when you get more than 4 or 5, but otherwise, we don't care how big your team is. But realize your strengths and weaknesses on finding team members. And so we'll do sometime kind of a mixture kind of thing, so that we'll try to get people here that you need somebody that understands business and you don't know anybody. Of course, we've had a couple teams that were really good at it. They actually, one guy needed a programmer. He literally went to Bruner and walked the halls, grabbing people going, can you build this for me? And actually, that's the guy that just raised $1 million. So he found a team member literally, and he started asking everybody in the building, who's the smartest programmer here? And they're like, oh, you need to talk to this guy. And so, they wound up probably being one of our most successful companies coming out of here right now. Our other team, the Crazy Gigamunch guys, they were all just buddies and had varied skill sets and just are still hilarious. And they're doing about $600,000 a year in revenue right now. Still don't raise a lot of money, but they're bootstrapping pretty well, so that's what we're looking for. But figure out how to build a team that gets this done, because trust me, you'll be happy you did, that it's not 3 of you that think just alike. That will not go well again when you get down to the judging part. You need to show you got some diversity of thought there.
Yep. Because diversity is the key to everything, and we mean that, of course, in traditional thoughts of diversity, so race, gender, things like that. We also want to think about diversity in experience areas. So again, everything that we've just said with interdisciplinary, that's really going to set you in a position to win, and it's also going to develop you personally as a person to be able to understand, because nurses and history majors talk in completely different language, right? They use these different words and stuff, but what we find is at the end of the day, and insert any major there, it doesn't matter, nurse, history, fine arts, whatever, everybody's kind of going for the same thing, right? We just use different words to get there. So again, take an honest, critical look at what you need to, you know, where your deficiencies are, and go out and find that person. So, and then finally, again, at Saturday, April 6, 2019, number 2, I will say it again, it's going to be here before we know it. So what you all need to think about right now is you need to be thinking about your idea, and you need to be thinking about who you need to put on your team, right? Now, with your idea, maybe you don't have an idea, but maybe you still want to compete. How many of you all don't have an idea but definitely want to do this, all right? There's a place for you as well. Utilize the Facebook group, and utilize the upcoming pop-ups, which we'll talk about in the next slide, to be able to network. We're going to do a mixer like Jeff said, so we're going to get a bunch
So
of people
what's your
together.
background? What's your major? What do you do? You're not on a team yet. Yeah, who wasn't on a team? So you were guy behind you.
I'm a chief engineer.
All right.
Very good. All right, so.
Anybody, any teams in here need a chemical engineer right now?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. He's a chemical engineer, so he's being trained in you know, engineering concepts and chemical engineering concepts. But guess what? He might have some other background. You know, for example, one of our competitors in the years past was a mechanical engineer, but he was also a classically trained violinist and intrinsically understood music, and was able to help other teams based on the background that he had. So really, just I want to encourage you all to really kind of get out of your comfort zones, get out of your shell, and talk to people and find out, you know, what can they do to help you. So with that said, all of this stuff might sound a little daunting right now. So as a quick review before we go forward, remember you're going to go ahead and register for us because we want to know who you are. You're going to come up with an idea or find somebody that has one. You're going to form a team. You're going to work on a business model, and you're going to do a pitch, and then you're going to pitch it on April 6th, right? So that's really what you're doing. For right now, what you'll need to focus on is getting involved. So again, doing your team, and then we're going to help you every step of the way, and we do that through several ways. One of those ways is optional pop-up classes. So pop-up is a kind of a generalized term that we use to describe seminars, workshops, whatever you want to kind of describe it. It's a fun activity that we do here in the Makerspace, and it will teach you the concepts that you need to know to help you better compete in the competition. And I can tell you, the people that attend the pop-ups, the people that have interdisciplinary teams, those are by and large the ones that
There's been
that
two
place.
people in 5 years that won money that didn't come to all the pop-ups.
Yes, so you want to definitely do that, and again, they're fun, they're informative. You're going to be able to meet new people. You're going to gain better skill sets, and it's also just, you know, something else to be able to get involved with. So I encourage you all to do that, and we advertise those in several ways. One, we do that through Tech Times, so please read that. We will have them every couple of weeks, and then we'll also put them on the Facebook page, and we can also email that stuff out too. Now, we have an optional course in the spring semester, and it is it's an experiential entrepreneur course, and otherwise known as the EagleWorks course. It's optional. It's a 4,900 level special topics elective. So if you are looking for that type of elective, you can actually take the EagleWorks course, and it is available to everyone. It's housed in the College of Business, but it's not a business class. We just had to have somewhere to put it. It just happened to be in Johnson Hall. So you can, when you sign up for that, we'll make that available to you around registration time, so be looking for that, but and we'll put it in Tech Times as well. But the point being is that you can actually permit into this class, and you can get your whatever 4,900 special topics that you need. So we can take care of you for that. So if you're an engineer, you're a nurse, you're a business major, doesn't matter. You can get the correct get the correct designation. It's called Experiential Learning and Entrepreneurship. It's 3-hour credit. Lectures from specific faculty and also local entrepreneurs. We got some really cool entrepreneurs that work with Jeff, and we'll also lead some of our pop-ups. So that's another reason I want you all to consider being in the course and the pop-ups, because you're going to get to be around some really interesting people. We're talking women who have made literally tens of millions of dollars selling jewelry, to guys who are feeding their family using toilet spray. So, and everything in between.
They're not feeding them the toilet spray.
No, they're not feeding the toilet spray. No, that's correct. But off the residual,
They're selling it.
Residual money from that. Then we also some of the learning objectives that we will cover in the course is business models, financials, marketing, and other concepts that are important to cultivating entrepreneurial mindsets and therefore being able to compete in the EagleWorks course. So again, I want to encourage you all to look into that. We will have that information available on the website, which is again, tentech.edu/EagleWorks. Again, everything that we're going to talk about today and more is on the website, so I encourage we'll take a look at that here in a moment. So some more resources, again, Facebook group, I don't need to say that again. We have, Jeff, you want to talk about mentors?
So I keep a bench of 25 to 30 mentors in various areas of specialty. You know, we've got guys that know how to really manufacture things. You know, how do you get millions of something made? And more importantly for EagleWorks, how do you get one, right? Dr. Canfield will run one of the pop-ups on prototype and what we call minimum viable product. So to you, that's a prototype. And we're going to teach you the difference in a prototype and the minimum viable product you have time and money to do for EagleWorks. So, you know, he'll help you with that if you need to get something 3D printed, so we'll help with all that stuff. You want to run through kind of the pop-ups, I mean, kind of give you an idea. So there's, Brandon, have you got a list?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
Wow, you're way ahead of the game.
Almost like I have a marketing degree.
Yeah, it's almost like you know what you're doing.
Almost. So some of the pop-ups that we offer are Lean Startup Methodology. We actually call that, what do we call that? The Business Model Canvas.
The business model canvas and kind of the lean launchpad theory. This is what Stanford and MIT and Berkeley, and so if you go to college there and spend 80 grand a year on a college education, that's what you're going to get there. Dr. Canfield and I will do most of those first two, I'm assuming. We usually do.
Yep. Yep. We also have effective communication. So how do you? So you've got a nurse and a computer programmer and a business person on your team. How do you effectively communicate across those different disciplines and mindsets? So that is always really critical and does a really great job of being able for you all to effectively communicate. It's more than just interdisciplinary too. It's being able to critically look at your idea, critically assess and evaluate what you really need to do to iterate to.
Because there's communication with your team, there's
Right.
communication with potential customers, there's communication with vendors, there's
Yep.
communication.
Then we have branding. Yours truly actually teaches that. Is my absolute favorite presentation to give. And branding is all about the feeling, right? So the feeling that your business actually portrays, and that goes to Jeff's comment earlier about being passionate. You can tell when people are passionate about something, and you want to be passionate about this idea that you come up for EagleWorks. And we're going to talk about different ways that you can actually affect your brand and be more passionate and really kind of capitalize literally and figuratively on that, and actually how to start a brand. We actually kick off the EagleWorks series with branding every year, and I want to encourage you all to certainly come to that, if nothing else for
With every entrepreneur we work with, we don't care how technically smart you are, you can create the greatest widget ever.
Right.
Nobody knows about it. Where's it going? Nowhere, right? And so, branding, marketing, and those things are a part of all innovation if it's nothing other than sending it out to 100 people that they start applying that innovation.
Right. And that's just a poster that we've used in the past. Really kind of shows everything that we've already talked about. But one other thing that I wanted to point out, so Jeff is the president and CEO of the Biz Foundry. If y'all don't know about the Biz Foundry, go check it out. It's basically right beside Age of Aquariums and down the street from Red Silo, so it's a good place.
Across the street from the pool hall.
Yeah, from the pool hall, yeah, democratic place. Anyhow, really super cool place, a lot of cool entrepreneurs, a lot of activity going on. We'll actually have some of our pop-ups over there. And one of the things that we actually do there too is we do pitch practices, and that's going to be really critical for you all. So a few weeks before the competition, you can actually come down there, maybe have some pizzas or something like that, and you can run through your pitch, and we will, quite frankly,
I think we have free food.
Yeah, we have free food. We typically do. We didn't get it tonight,
yes.
so oh well. I'll take the blame on that. But the point being is that is a really great way for you to be able to give your pitch in front of people that actually do this. Maybe some of those people are actual investors. People are entrepreneurs that have done this before. Really, the ultimate goal is to make a better pitch for you, and then therefore, of course, being able to compete.
So we're going to teach you how to tell a story,
Right.
not make a pitch, right?
Exactly.
So Taya is one of the best we've seen. So when she won third place at Launch Tennessee's statewide competition this year, the CEO of Launch Tennessee kind of turns around and looks at me and went, I could have told you where she got trained to do a pitch if you weren't even in the building. And he's like, she's good, right? And so at this level of these kind of competitions, you don't have time. These pitches, something we haven't told you, you got 7 minutes, guys.
Right.
You can't get up there and read a book. There are no encyclopedias involved. You've got 7 minutes to tell the problem you solve, how you solve it. Is there a market for it? Do people really want this? And can we do it? You got 7 minutes. You are not going to be able to go over a lot of technical information. So what we want is the judges are interested in technical information. They'll ask you questions about your technology. Can you do it, right? Can you pull this off? So we had one a couple years ago that their idea totally broke the laws of thermodynamics. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, we're going to build a rocket to go to Jupiter by April 6th, was kind of their thing. And so it was so funny that they made it into the finals before anybody ever went, can this even be done? And I don't remember who was in the room. I think it was Dr. Stretz is like, no, it can't. And so they kind of crashed in the finals.
One more reason to find interdisciplinary partners. Get those people that can tell you, will this actually work, right? So I see a lot of engineers smiling right now, so that's a good thing. A couple other resources that I want to point out. BizFoundry is a great resource. We have a small business development center here located at Tennessee Tech. They are a statewide program that's actually out of the SBA that will help you with things like business plan writing and a few other things. So they actually will teach some of the pop-ups. And they are also available to meet with you all to kind of help counsel you on your idea. I'm going to come back to I-Corps here in a moment. We have the Makerspace. You're in the Makerspace right now. So the Makerspace is a place that Tennessee Tech built for you all to innovate and be entrepreneurs. So if you look over there, if you haven't been up here, we have fabrication area. We have students that can help you with those things if you don't know how to use the equipment. We have 3D printers back in the back of the house. Those are available for you all. And Tennessee Tech actually gives every one of our students a 1/4 kilogram of 3D printing filament for free to do whatever you wish with. So if you want to use it for EagleWorks, by all means go for it. And a 1/4 kilogram, how many, who's a 3D printing guru in here? 1/4 kilogram is quite a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, like.
I know it depends,
Yes,
but.
it depends on what you're building, but that's enough to make something.
Yeah, it's enough to make something. All right, so we make these printers available for you. If you don't have any idea how to 3D print, I actually helped start the space 6 years ago. No clue how to do it, but I've got people that can actually help me with it. We have about 20 students that actually work in the Makerspace. They can help you with the design, they can help you with exporting it and getting it ready for the 3D printing, and actually how to load the thing and actually 3D print it. So a lot of great resources up here, and there's a lot more resources in the Makerspace too. If you go to, when you're on the EagleWorks page, you're actually in the Innovation Entrepreneurship website. Over on the left-hand side, if you're on a tablet or a computer, there's a Makerspace link, and you can learn more about what we offer in the Makerspace. We will also offer some Makerspace-oriented pop-ups, so we'll actually have some 3D pop-ups and some other 3D printing pop-ups and some other stuff that will actually help you understand what goes on in the Makerspace and actually how to utilize those resources. Then furthermore, we have an Innovation Entrepreneurship Certificate. Those are, it's actually a collection of courses that are specific to your major that you can actually take, and you can actually graduate with with an Innovation Entrepreneurship Certificate on your transcript. And the really cool thing about it is that it's 18 hours to get the certificate. We only require 12 hours of actual academic courses, and those courses are already probably in your major. We have nursing, engineering, business, and a little bit of chemistry, and actually fine arts as well. So I encourage you to look more into that. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on it today, but the final 6 hours to make your 18 hours is actually based on experience and evidence, and that's an experiential component, and those are 6 hours that you actually don't have to pay for. So we have a zero-cost class set up that that will allow you to do experience. So for example, EagleWorks is a great experiential opportunity that will allow you to do the equivalent of 6 hours. There's other things that you can do as well. A lot of those things are in the makerspace, and we can certainly talk about those, but just go click on the link when you're on the website, and you can learn more about that. And then we also have, new for this year, is hot off the press, we have Eureka Grants. And Eureka Grants, if you go to this really long link there, by the way, if you go to the EagleWorks homepage, by the time that you all actually go look at this, I'll actually have this presentation and the video posted on that in the next day or two, so you can get all this information, and then the links will actually be, I'll actually post the PowerPoint on the homepage for you all, so you don't have to worry about writing that down at this moment. But the Eureka Grant is all about supporting undergraduate research and creative activity. And I'm really happy to announce that as of this summer, we have made everything Innovation Entrepreneurship available and qualifies for Eureka Grants. So Eureka Grants, you can qualify for up to $3,000 to $5,000, I believe it is, in grant money that will help you with things such as research and other creative activities like EagleWorks. So if you need some help with some funding for prototyping or various other activities, you can actually qualify through this. So I would highly encourage you all to go out and look at that. One of our pop-ups is actually going to be specifically on the Eureka Grants, so be watching for that again in Tech Times. Dr. Ed Lissick, if you all know who that is, will actually be leading that. He's over the program. But again, this is money that you all can use to actually help develop yourselves. Furthermore, we have even more funding opportunities available, and they're going to be able to make you even better at competing at EagleWorks and actually better at making an actual commercializable product, and that is called I-Corps. I-Corps is a National Science Foundation grant that we have here at Tennessee Tech, and it takes you through the commercialization process. It helps you to figure out who are your customers and what do they actually want. Maybe you've got widget A, but it actually really needs to be widget C or widget Z, or maybe not even a widget, it turns into something else. Yeah. So, but the point being is it's a series of instruction and experience that actually gets you out of the classroom, it gets you out of Tennessee Tech, it gets you talking to people and figuring out what does the market actually want. Like I have this product, I want to sell it. Do people actually want to buy it? What do they want? How much does it cost? How am I going to get it out there? It's a great way for you all to be able to develop your model, to develop your business model. And every team that goes through it has the ability to apply for $3,000 worth of funding for basically travel, so you can go to trade shows, basically anything but legal help and alcohol we can help you with through the I-Corps program.
That's what the Biz Foundry's for, is those two. So
yes, right.
So one of the things that's funny, we actually, I-Corps will actually give you a book called Talking to Humans. Think about that for a minute. We actually have the PDF, so we give it to everybody, right?
My phone, does that count?
No, not in our world, right? And so Dr. while we're talking about this, so Dr. Canfield, if you don't know him in mechanical engineering, so he is the keeper of the gate for I-Corps and the banker and everything else. So if we get into that, you need money for prototyping. And so one of the things we need to do is get our contact info.
Yeah,
so one of the things we will tell you now that we've been doing this long enough, don't get stuck.
Right.
If you get stuck and go, I don't know what to do next, I can't come up with $150 to get this stuff or whatever, let all of us know. You will be amazed what we can come up with between the 10 or 12 of us. My organization has donors that don't want anybody to know who they are, that I can send an email and say, I have a tech student who needs $180 to buy their stuff from this supply house for EagleWorks, and they're like, done. Right?
Yep.
So don't get stuck. Don't let things like that become a reason not to keep moving forward. And not just money, but help. I need idea. I need help with my idea. I need help with the business side. So let us all know. That's what we're here for.
I don't want to let this go on too long. Are you guys are we wrapping up?
Yeah,
today
we'll
yet?
just show a couple slides.
A couple more slides. Well,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'll wait till the end.
Okay, all right, very good. So we'll come back to Dr. Canfield. So a couple important things that I wanted to go over with you just to make sure that you've heard it here and you've heard it first, you've heard it on the video. Number one, intellectual property. What does that mean? That is your idea. Okay, so that is the core essence of your innovative idea. A lot of times students will ask me, is Big Bad Tennessee Tech going to come and steal my idea? The answer is no, absolutely not.
Only if you're
Right.
working on a funded project.
Right.
If you're working on a capstone that has a company that's put in money.
Right.
It's not yours to claim.
Right.
Okay. So if there's any way money flowing to the company, or as he's going to say, significant use.
Right.
Which is like $3,000-$4,000.
Yeah, if you're using $3,600 worth of chemicals in a chemistry lab, we need to talk.
And
but-
honestly, we've not seen that.
We've
Not really
happen.
run into
No.
that.
So really, it's
Then
more a
we gotta-
matter. Yeah, it's really more a matter of if you felt like you would like to engage Tennessee Tech in your IP.
Right.
You could submit it since you are a student, but as long as it's not funded and you stay below this, you can just do it on your own. And you don't have to report.
Yeah.
And that's
we're-
our intent.
Yeah,
that's our intent, really. We're,
Yeah.
we're thinking if this is something you want to pursue, we're here to help you do that.
Right.
So we have IP lawyers and all those things that
Right.
can help with that. So.
Tennessee Tech wants to put you in a position to where you can innovate and be an entrepreneur. We don't want to we don't want to complicate issues. Now, obviously, there's a couple things. Significant use, like I said, it's $3,600 worth of overhead basically. But if you feel like you're coming up on that, certainly talk to us. But we've never seen that before. But really, more importantly about intellectual property is that. And I want to call your attention that this video is actually posted on our How to Compete page on the website, so please do watch it. But essentially, to echo what Dr. Canfield says, if it's your idea, this is actually your idea, it's not a funded idea, it's not something that a business already owns, or a few other things, then we have no problems whatsoever. I always want to make sure that I do cover intellectual property, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to have a pop-up that talks about intellectual property, because I'm not a lawyer, Jeff's not a lawyer, Dr. Canfield's not a lawyer, we have no attorneys in this room, and we don't want to give bad legal advice. But yeah,
Yeah.
right. So, but the point being, if it's your idea, okay,
Lawyers don't count in the human part, right?
Furthermore, like I said at the beginning, just like unlike Shark Tank takes equity, right? We're not going to do any of that. So judges will not own any part of your business. Tennessee Tech will not own any part of your business. However, if you want to work with Tennessee Tech, if you have a great idea and you feel like you need a little bit of help, Tennessee Tech can actually work something out with you. But really, at the end of the day, what y'all are looking at is this is your own idea. One other thing that I do like to say, that this idea has to be student generated. This is a student competition, and therefore the idea of lineage must come from the student, all right? Now, we can get into the weeds on this. We won't today. If you have any questions about this, come to me personally, and you'll if you're in this category, you'll know that you're in the category and we can talk. But I do want to say that it's a student-generated idea, and that the student team must control at least a 51% controlling majority of the business. So I'll give you a good example here. Let's say that you and your brother, and this is a real example, let's say that you and your brother collectively own a business. You started a business, right? And you and your brother were both Tennessee Tech students. Your brother graduated a couple of years ago, is still a partner in the business. You're the student, right? So only you can compete because you are the only student. Like I said at the beginning, you have to be a Tennessee Tech student to compete. Furthermore, if you and your brother truly own this business, then you, the student, must at least own 51% of that business. Again, if you want to talk to us a little bit more about that, if that doesn't make sense or that concerns you, let us know. Hit the contact button, and we can certainly talk. But again, I don't really want to get into the weeds on that. But as long as all of you all are students and it's your idea and a company's not paying you to compete based on their idea, we're good to go. So otherwise, please do ask us about that. But I would also encourage you to come to the IP pop-up and also watch the video if you can't come to that, or both. So, and then finally, utilize the makerspace. There are no acceptable use policies up here in the makerspace. The 3D printers are here for you. The fabrication is here for you. And state law dictates that any idea that is student generated in a public library at a public institution is therefore by default the student's intellectual property. So again, Tennessee Tech actually expands that out to all of our campus for the most part. But right here in the makerspace, this was built for doing EagleWorks. This was built for innovating. This was built for being entrepreneurs. So utilize the resources that we have available to you. So enough about that. That's my have to say it type of thing. Another thing that I wanted to say is that in wrapping up, that we award these things. We award our thousands in funding. We award it in the form of a scholarship. We don't write a physical check to you. You get a big check to take a picture with, but that's not a legal document. But we do award it to you as a scholarship, and the reason for that is there are federal laws and state laws and a lot of complications that basically say we're going to give it to you as a scholarship, and that's how it works the best. Basically, I want to inform you that all of the funding for our competition awards, 100% of those awards come from donors. So those are people that are outside the university that want to see you, each and every one of you all succeed, and they write big checks to us every year, hopefully even more so this year, and that actually funds our awards. So this past year we gave away $13,500. Again, 100% of that was actually raised from donors that want to, that feel passionately about giving you all awards. So, and therefore we actually created it as a scholarship. If any of you all have reached your maximum financial aid and you win an award and you were at your max financial aid or scholarship, I think it's like $21,500 a year or something like that. If you're in that situation, let me know after the competition, and we'll discover some options. But y'all don't really have to worry about it right now. Just know that you do get the awards in the form of a scholarship. Once you get that, you can pull that out as excess aid, and then you can use it. We encourage you all to use that for your business, so legal stuff, prototyping, whatever. So also, one other thing that I want to say is the funds will be distributed equally among your team members. So if you have 4 people on a team and you win $1,000, each of you all get $250 as a scholarship. That's the most easiest and fair way that we've come up to do with it. So with that said, that's basically everything that I wanted to say. Do you all have any questions right now before I bring Taya up to talk? No questions? All right, so everything's making sense. That's great. So Taya, I'd like to bring you up here or wherever you want to go. So this is Taya. Taya is 1/3, 1/2, whatever of ATS Innovations. And you can see her and her teammates here. We've got Taya's a chemical engineer. We've got mechanical engineer. Ashley's the chemical engineer. And then we have Sergio, who's actually a nursing student. And they formed what's now ATS Innovations and competed. And gosh, y'all won $16,000 and got all kinds of PR.
$16,500.
But who's counting, right?
Who's counting?
So with that said, Taya's awesome. She has an awesome experience. And so let me turn it over to you.
Yeah, EagleWorks has been amazing. I'm now at 22 a CEO of my own company. I own half of it with Ashley. Sergio decided to focus on nursing. And since we had 2 female engineers and a male nurse, I got asked a lot of anatomy questions, and I was like, not me. But EagleWorks was great. We won $6,000 for first place and $500 for biggest social impact. We made an arthritis therapy glove that we called Hands On, and we made the name literally like the day we had to send it and like 10 minutes before it was due. So the name's not really a big deal, and we rebranded as Metaflex, and then the company is ATS Innovations. And then we went to 3686 student pitch competition in August and won 10 grand. We were 3rd place. We were the only ones from a public university to place in the top 3, the only ones with a female at all in the team, and the only ones that were undergraduates. 1st and 2nd were Vanderbilt PhD MDs. So the Biz Foundry and Michael Akins really set us up for success. Jeff Brown gave us the idea. That's the first picture on our slide. It's salsa, and I'm like, isn't salsa delicious? Well, a lot of people have trouble opening this and they have arthritis. Let me talk to you about it. And I've used that for every pitch so far, and I think it's made a really big impact. To prepare for EagleWorks, I went to every single pop-up, which also I just like have anxiety and needed to know all the details of everything. Went to every pop-up, went to the Biz Foundry, bothered Jeff weekly, met with Michael Akins a lot. It's been a really great resource. I don't know. If you have any questions, let me know. Big fan of EagleWorks. I'll probably be there this year. Is there anything else I should talk about?
I don't know. Do y'all have any questions for Taya?
Since winning, we got 3 months for free at the Biz Foundry, and they have free Poets Coffee, which is the best coffee in Cookville. And we've also been set up with an IP lawyer who's working with us pro bono through the Biz Foundry because we won 1st place. So we've been able to get all of our intellectual property free. We have a trademark on Metaflex. We filed as a Delaware C Corp on July 13th. and I just yesterday got drafts of my of an artist illustration for our patent. And so the resources here are huge. You don't know like how deep it delves and how many people can help you. I didn't really prepare anything. I'm rambling.
Yeah, thank you.
No matter.
So, that pretty much concludes what we wanted to talk about today. I know Dr. Canfield wanted to come up and say a few
I
words.
think we've talked about this. It's
Okay.
so exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
People
It's
at Taya
cool.
did it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you really
Yeah,
need to
well,
look at.
And I guess I would say that, Taya, we were in class a year and a half ago.
DOM.
And yeah, you come, I don't know if you were just sitting there waiting to break out, as an entrepreneur or what, but you entered this, it was really amazing. So I think anyone that wants it, what we have done is just created an infrastructure. So you can get involved in this. This might be something small, might be something. Taya is taking off to start your own company. Our intent is this is for people that want to start a company. Our intent is so that you have a taste of really what's driving our economy. If you want to know the truth right now, what's driving our economy, it's new ideas. Because once we've got an idea working, it ends up in China. And it will. No, tariffs aren't going to change that. It ends up in China or somewhere else made. So anything that's going on that's action-packed is innovation. And so whatever company you go work for, this is the type thing you want to see. I know you're all overly busy. You give us 100 reasons why you wouldn't want to do it. To some degree, looking in mind, if you think, hey, I'd like to have an experience before I leave Tennessee Tech, I think EagleWorks is the low-hanging fruit. You join a team, you commit, you say, I'm going to spend, pick a minimal amount of time to show up. I'm going to spend 30 hours and spend 40 hours a week in the door. You probably have a chance at a $500 prize at that level. If you're going to be competitive, it's got to be something that you commit for the semester or more. Okay, I will tell you that. But just to compete, it is such an exciting thing, right? Would you say?
You learn a framework and a mindset that
Yeah.
no matter where you go to work,
Yeah.
when they find out you have that, you're going to get promoted and make more money, and you're going to get handed bigger projects, because what they don't want is the guy that goes, oh, you told me what to do, what do I do now,
I
right?
don't wanna
They want
encourage-
people that'll
yeah, I
grab
don't wanna
things,
encourage
right?
sloppy work, but you said, I would just like to be part of this a little bit. Get your team together, put something in, show up. We've got room for everyone.
Yep.
And it's a fairly low hanging fruit. Now, if you're competitive, take advantage of all the stuff we have, and the sky's the limit, it's it's really evidence.
It was my first time competing, and
Yeah.
now there's a guy in New York making my glove.
Yeah.
So it all happened less than a year. We
Yeah.
raised a lot of money, and EagleWorks is what launched it off.
Yep. This is very real stuff, and you all, every single person in here can do it. Every single person has the potential to win. So in closing, quick review, please go to the website, tentech.edu/EagleWorks. Go hit that registration button. We want to hear from you, and please join the Facebook group. We'll be communicating with you, and if you don't already, please do watch Tech Times, because we will be promoting in there as well. So with that said, I want to encourage you all to do two things. One is network with the people that are here. Talk. This is Makerspace. Y'all are, can be up here until about 2 in the morning if you want to be. And two, be thinking critically about your idea and who you need to put together on your team. So again, please go fill out the registration form. If you have any questions, hit the contact button. This presentation will be posted in PowerPoint format on the homepage. We'll post the, how long do you think it'll be? A couple days. We'll post the video, give or take. And then also one final thing, one important page. Basically everything we've already talked about, but all in one spot on the EagleWorks page is if you go to the how to compete and the FAQ pages, that will tell you everything you need to know. So please do review that and check out the FAQ. So with that said, what questions do you all have? What comments do you have? Concerns, praise? Taya?
I have one more thing. I did take the EagleWorks class, and it was really helpful because none of us knew anything about business.
Yeah.
I thought that writing a business plan was the business model canvas, which you'll learn later in the pop-ups. And so we had to write like a 10-page document in a short period of time because I didn't know what I was doing. But if you don't have anyone with any business experience, I really highly suggest taking the class because it's business focused.
Yeah, but not a business class for everybody. Thank you. What up? Yes, Dr. Geist.
I have two nursing groups who need programmers, so if there are any programmers who
Awesome.
for a team.
Awesome, very
Please-
good.
Please find me.
Yeah, please find her. And also, again, talk about yourself on the group. You know, say, hey, guess what? I'm a programmer and I'd love to compete. Or we're a team of chemical engineers and we desperately need a nurse, or whatever, right? What other questions do y'all have? Are y'all excited about this? Awesome, very good. Third thing that I want y'all to do, very important too, please tell your friends. Please tell them about what we're doing, tell them about what your experience, and tell them to get involved. So please help us actually come from word of mouth. So please help us proliferate the message that we are talking about today. What other questions do we have? Was this informative? Okay, good, very good. Is there something that you came here tonight looking to find out or discover and feel like you did not? Or you feel like there's something that we did not cover? Okay, all right, I'll take that as we did a good job, yes.
So when is the next meeting for this?
Right, so we are currently working on the next meeting date. What I would like to do is have that before Thanksgiving. So in a couple weeks, so we got fall break coming up this next week. Y'all are kind of getting through midterms, so right around after that, basically if we don't do it before Thanksgiving, we'll kind of lose the message and we have to pick it up on January. So I'd be looking for that in Tech Times, but I'd say probably about 3 weeks or so. I can't think of the calendar dates in my head at the moment, but we will communicate that through EagleWorks. We'll put it on the front page of the website. We will also, we can email you if you would like that, and then we'll put it in Tech Times too. And then once you all find out, please also tell your friends. And also, if you all have any ideas for us on how we can get the message out more, please let us know, because those things are always changing. So it can be very difficult. There's a lot of resources, a lot of great resources and opportunities going on at Tennessee Tech, but sometimes there's a lot of noise surrounding it. So you get Tech Times and it's like that long in your Outlook, right? So if there's other ways that you all would like for us to communicate with you or advertise, please do let us know, because we're always looking for new and better ways to do things. So we walk the walk and talk the talk. So we're always innovating our program to make sure that it fits your all's needs and objectives. So are there any other things that you just kind of maybe have a question about, maybe you're confused about, something didn't make sense, felt like didn't get something off of it? We good? All right. Well, cool. Well, again, watch the resources. Go do your registration form. Go out and join the Facebook group. We're so glad that you all were here tonight. Thank you very much, and go and network.